Yes, sir.
How are you doing today, man? How you doing? How you doing?
Padres are good this
Yeah, they are. And I just want to start off by saying I have no disrespect to any other religion. I respect all religion. This is more of a question for you and whether or not you can confirm this. The Talmud states that Jews are the chosen people and all non-Jews are goyim, here to serve them. You are a Christian who's clearly serving the Jews, defending Zionism with all you got. But you also believe Jesus is a rabbinic Jew in heaven when you know the Talmud states he's in hell burning in feces.
Okay, so you're a Talmudic expert, right? Which Talmud is that in, Jerusalem or Babylonian?
I'm talking about Jerusalem, sir.
Oh, that's the Jerusalem, which actually is not as divinely inspired. Which one's longer and how long is it? Don't look at your phone. Look at me in the eye.
I'm not
No, come
really
on. You said that I'm a tool of the Jews, so look at me in the eye like
I
a
never
man.
said I'm talking about the Talmud.
No, you accused me of saying like you're a Zionist or something, right?
I mean, do you support Israel?
Yes, of course I do. Yes.
Okay, that's good for you. But that's another thing. You're an advocate for the military in America.
Hold on, time out.
But then you agree with Israel's war crimes. What's up with that?
Oh, war crimes. We'll get into that, but let's be more specific.
Yeah.
What is your point here of dragging up a multi-thousand-year text that you don't know, that you haven't read?
I mean, it's
you
your
have not even.
religion.
Have you
You're gonna
purchased the
agree
Talmud?
with it.
Have you read the Talmud? What is the Talmud? Tell me the difference between the Torah, the Tanakh, and the Talmud. Go ahead.
I don't know.
Oh, you don't know.
But
That's pretty important. Time out.
That's
So
why
what you did is you cherry-picked something on the internet that makes Jews look bad, but you can't tell me the difference between the Torah and the Tanakh and the
I'm
Talmud.
not trying to make the Jews look
No,
bad.
no, but
What
no,
I'm
no.
trying to tell
This
you-
is ridiculous. This is for clickbait. Let me tell you the difference. The Torah is the books that we as Christians acknowledge: Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy, the most holy scriptures in Judaism. The Tanakh is also our Old Testament, right? That's Joshua, Judges, First and Second Kings, Hezekiah, Nehemiah, Ezekiel. The Talmud are rabbinic debates spanning over 500 years, of which there's the Babylonian and the Jerusalem Talmud. The Babylonian's actually more inspired, it's 2.5 million words. The Jerusalem is lesser inspired, and they disagree on all sorts of stuff, and they pick it up. Those are people that would they say, well, I
that's why
disagree
I'm
with that.
asking you if
No,
you
but hold on a
agree or
second.
not.
But it's very important. You don't even know the stuff that you're bringing up to this event.
That's why I'm asking you.
No. It's really important because what you're trying is like this context. You're a tool of the
It's
Jews,
just-
and I read this thing. But
it's
let's
just
just make this very clear.
Sir, it's an agree to a disagreement. I'm not here
It's
to
not agree to
argue.
disagreement.
Do you
It's
agree
very
with what
clear.
I
It's
said
that
or not?
you don't even know the stuff you're bringing up to make
So
someone
that's why
look
I'm
bad.
asking you, do you agree or disagree so I can
Of
be
course, I
knowledgeable on
disagree
it?
with rabbinic
There you
Judaism.
go.
I'm a
So-
Christian.
so
Jesus is the solution. Oh, I hope every
Master,
Jew
this-
gives their life to
this-
Christ.
This debating thing and
But hold on, this is very important.
You're trying to get clicks out of it. All I'm asking you is if
No, you
agree
were
or
trying to get
disagree.
clicks out. Who was trying to get clicks? He was trying to get
I'm
clicks
not- I don't have a
out
YouTube
of
channel.
trying to read the Talmud. You don't even know what it is, the Talmud.
Okay, that's why I'm
but
asking
let
what
me
I'm-
ask you a question. Do we as Christians have a biblical obligation to the Jews?
I mean, you tell me, since I'm not knowledgeable on it.
Yes, we do. Paul says.
don't? Hold up.
That's fine. Yes, I'm
You
sure.
don't?
I'm sure we're going to have a Catholic disagree. People say we're the new Israel.
But you're
hold on a
Christian.
second.
How can you
Be-
can you believe that there's the chosen people? You're Christian.
Hold on
You
a second,
you
because
believe in
Paul
God?
said first to the Jews.
Okay.
Paul was around in a time after the resurrection of Christ. Don't you acknowledge that
Right.
there was something special in the book of Exodus when God decided to work miraculously of those people out of Egypt and bring them into the desert? Isn't that a chosen people? Secondly, the covenant, the law, the Decalogue, the Torah, they are the keepers of the law. In fact, that's why it says in Galatians 3, the law is a school teacher of Jesus Christ. Genesis 12:3, if you bless Israel, I will bless you. Same thing in the book of Numbers. And so what I'm getting at, we as Christians are bound to bless the state of Israel and to bless Jews.
Jews. How can you bless yourself, man?
Of course, but let's just talk
why do
more
you
about
believe in
Israel.
Jews?
Do you think, who's the bad actor, Israel or Hamas?
I believe that what Hamas is doing wrong, but that's not okay for what Israel is doing to the Palestinians.
What is Israel doing exactly? Tell me in detail. Where is it
war
happening?
crimes, just
War crimes, really? How?
What do you mean how? They're killing little kids, man.
Well,
It's
hold on.
obvious.
Killing kids. You mean wait,
You're
they
human.
drop leaflets before they bomb in Gaza?
You're-
They
you're-
warn civilian corridors before they ever engage militarily.
doesn't-
They do emergency medical procedures for any person in Gaza that might need it. Do you understand
so,
what's
okay,
actually?
they're doing good, but it's okay for them to do bad then. That's what
It's
you're
called
basically
war,
saying.
okay? And in war, sometimes
War-
bad things happen.
but it's a
Who
war
started
crime.
this? It's not a
War
war crime.
crime.
Throwing around war crime is a ridiculous. You know what a war crime is? A war crime is going into
Killing
kibbutzes.
children is a
Time
war
out.
crime.
Going into kibbutzes, going into the Nova Music Festival, going into people's places of residences on October 7th, and putting.
So, okay, you guys keep bringing up October 7th. You guys are doing bad.
Yeah, it's pretty important.
Okay.
If you're going to all of a sudden attack Jews on their holiest day of the interior of Israel, expect a whirlwind and don't complain about it when it comes forward.
So what's happening is that...
Because if you're going to go into the interior of Israel and start babies' throats in their homes, not even going after military.
Can I say something, please? So basically what Israel doing is bad. Hamas is doing is bad. Okay?
I'm not even contending what Israel is doing is bad.
So what Israel doing isn't bad. Killing children isn't bad is what you're saying?
Hold on a second, but you have to go instance by...
Is it or not?
I
need a yes
are
or
they
no.
intentionally killing kids? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
No, they are not.
So
that is complete
why are there so
BS.
many dead kids? Why are you okay with dead babies?
Good question. Why are there dead kids? Because Hamas has no
war
care.
crimes,
Time out.
Israel.
So you think Israel? Let me get this straight. Let's think how irrational it is. Israel sits around.
Are you okay with dead
Let me hold on.
babies?
I want to make sure this is okay.
No, I need
Of
a
course,
yes or
I'm not
no
okay
from
with dead kids.
Okay,
Okay, ridiculous.
so
I'm the
why
most
do you
pro-life
agree with
person I've
Israel? What
debated for
it's
2
doing?
hours. Time out. Stop interrupting me. Do you think Israel? Do you think Israel sits around? And they say, how do we kill more kids in Gaza today?
I mean, so why are they killing kids then?
Exactly. Let's think. Maybe it's because Hamas uses the kids as human shields on top of their military bases. Maybe that's why. Maybe because the people of Hamas have no concern for the life of their own people.
If you really believe that, you gotta be really stupid, man, to actually assume that that's the case.
We have documented cases of Hamas using hospitals, schools, and military installations layered with civilians. In fact, IDF goes to such great extent. Do you understand?
Okay.
So let me just ask you, how do you think Israel should have responded?
Can I ask you
1,300 people die. How should Israel respond?
Can I ask you something? Because you've had your chance. Can I talk for you?
Answer it. How should Israel respond? 1,300 civilians killed. How should Israel respond?
Kirk, Mr. Kirk, you had your chance to talk. Can I ask you something?
Okay, no answer.
Are you okay with kids dying? Yeah.
No,
okay.
Every kid dying is a
Okay.
tragedy, of course.
Okay, right? So then again, Israelis are killing the kids. Yes or no?
It's collateral damage in a war, of course.
Okay.
America, we killed tens of thousands of kids in World War II unintentionally.
For the one
It's what
person that
happened.
dies, it's okay to kill 10 kids. That's basically what you're saying.
That's actually not what's happening at all.
That is, because you're blaming October 7th.
Again, every human life is a tragedy. You must understand, in war, of which Hamas invited upon themselves. Hamas basically said, we're going to go invite and provoke you, Israel, and then they're complaining that Israel's better at war than them. That's what's happening.
Killing kids is not better at war.
Okay,
that's
again,
basically what's happening.
to understand the military context of what's happening in Gaza, it is a complete wasteland. Understand, the combatants of Hamas, combatants of Hamas, they're indistinguishable to that of civilians. They don't use the actual rules of engagement. They don't wear uniforms. IDF wears uniforms. No one in Hamas wears uniform. That's not correct. They don't wear uniforms. They disguise themselves as civilians. They'll do bombing all the time against IDF. This is the hardest war that any military has ever had to fight in the modern context. And spare me the nitpicking of the Western world saying,
you're nitpicking for October 7th. You can't talk about nitpicking.
Here's a moral difference. You know the moral difference? October 7th.
One little thing. Okay, look.
October 7th was a little thing.
What happened was bad, yes.
It was unspeakably evil. You know why?
It was bad.
Because number one, it was not in a theater of war. Number two, they didn't go after military targets. This is how cowardly Hamas is. They didn't go after Israel military bases.
I agree with Hamas?
No, I'm not saying that, but understand the moral difference.
What I'm with is the Palestinians and the fact that there's kids dying, there's people dying.
I don't like kids dying.
Exactly.
But you know who's responsible for the kids dying? Hamas is
And
responsible for the kids dying, not Israel.
And Israel.
Hamas is responsible for their own kids dying. They provoked Israel. Israel responds.
Charlie Kirk,
by the way, that's another great. Thank you for bringing that.
Jews wear again?
The kippah or the yarmulke?
Yarmulke. I've seen a video of you wearing it, yes?
Yes, out of adoration and respect when I went to the Western Wall. Correct.
I was just curious.
Do you know why they wear it actually?
I don't.
Because they believe that Hashem is always above you and that God is always judging you. And as a Christian, I have a more nuanced theological view than that, but I think it's actually a beautiful thing. I think it's a beautiful thing to wear something above your head and believe there's a God who judges you and designs you. I can respect that.
I celebrate other cultures as well. I was just curious. Yeah. I appreciate you for having this argument.
Okay, again, in closing,
we agreed to
if Israel dropped down all their weapons, what would happen?
I believe Hamas will drop down and we'll leave in peace. If Israel dropped down all their weapons, I'm in hope that Hamas will do the same. I can't hope for no war. I'm in hope.
Hamas's charter is the elimination of the Jewish state.
I I'm in hope that Hamas will drop all their weapons. I'm in hope. I'm in hope that this war stops in general.
No one likes what's
Nobody
happening.
likes war.
However,
You
we
don't,
must
I
be
don't.
morally clear why it started.
Yeah.
What was the beginning of it? What was the genesis? And the
Yeah,
genesis
yeah.
was Hamas on one of the holiest days on the Jewish calendar, which is Samat Torah. They decided to go on Shabbat,
Okay.
not to attack military bases,
Okay.
not to go after the IDF. They went into homes. They went into kibbutzes. They went to music festivals. They took hostages. And guess what? When they went back to Gaza, they were celebrated as heroes. They threw rave parties for these terrorists. They weren't like, whoa, this is
what
kind of
Hamas
wrong.
is doing is bad. What Israel
I
is
agree,
doing is
but
bad
there's a
as
much
well.
deeper cancer and a rot happening in Gaza than just
It's
Hamas.
I can say the same thing about Israel.
Really?
I just can't.
How could you say that?
I just can't.
Do you know that there are Arab members of the Knesset? Are there Jewish members of the Gaza or Palestinian Authority? You know that there's an Arab member of the
Okay,
Israeli
Charlie
Supreme Court?
Kirk, I understand, man.
No, this is important because I don't like, again, I'm an America First guy, but I'm also a truth seeker. And I
Okay.
don't like to see the singular
sir.
Jewish state of half the world's Jewry maligned and slandered every single day
I'm
for
not
no good
slandering
reason.
them.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You know, I agree with Charlie because you don't come to my house, attack me, and when I decide to retaliate, you use hospital as shield. Meanwhile, you know that hospital contains women and children. You hide behind there and commit atrocity. You use schools as shield because you feel like if Israel should attack you, the world will go after them. They'll feel like, nah, they're killing kids, they're killing this. The thing is, these children, if you appreciate their life, you're not supposed to use them as bulletproof or as shield. You're supposed to look for a way to defend yourself. You know, I think what they did was they attacked Israel and they expected Israel not to retaliate. That was where they got it wrong. Because Israel was on their own, you know, they've had problem with what's it called, with Hamas before, and they've been able to resolve this issue. You understand? And everyone was living in peace. That is what I know, because I felt like people from Gaza could go to Israel, people from Israel could go to Gaza, you know. It was kind of peaceful. So why then did you just attack them, not even attack their military? You attack innocent civilians that are celebrating on October 7. You attack them, attack unarmed civilians, like people that were just celebrating. It's just like Christmas, you know, we're celebrating Christmas and all of a sudden you're hearing gunfire, you're hearing people adopt, like you're just seeing that they're adopting people, unaliving people. How will you feel? So they said for every action, there's an equal reaction. What you started led to what Israel did. Because if that action did not take place, I don't think Israel would want to attack, you know, Hamas. And now people are making it look like, oh, the Palestinians are making it look like you are killing our children, you're killing our this. If I remember when, what's it called, Russian and Ukraine, they were having war, you know, they allowed all the women and kids to leave the country. Before the war even escalated, they gave them time, okay, you guys should leave, and that was it. They decided to, but you don't use those people as shield and expect that Israel will fold their hands after you've unalived its citizen. It's never going to happen. So whatever you did, this is the repercussion of it. And the way the world are just trying to, you know, criticize Israel, make Israel feel like, yeah, even if we know that you were being attacked, you are not allowed to attack children and kids. I feel it's dumb. Okay, let's go back to the people that started the issue, who started it, and we tackle it from the root. Don't skip, don't jump, don't beat around the bush. Let's go for the source. You started it, so everything that comes to you, you have to live with the consequence. Anyway, I love the way Charlie, you know, tackled this guy, even if I know the guy is not in support of what Hamas did. But still, he's trying to let Charlie know that the killing of kids is not part of the game. But I think Israel are going to retaliate. And if you feel like using kids as shield is going to stop them from retaliating, then I think you don't like those children, you know, because you would fight like a man. If you are coming to, when you came to attack Israel, you did not care. There were kids, there were women, there were this. You You adopt as many as possible, you unlife as many as possible, and they were celebrated even after this atrocity. So if Israel should do theirs, you need to, like, after doing it, you need to expect the repercussion, and this is the repercussion of it. Anyway, let me know what you take in the comment section. If it is the first time visiting the channel, click on the subscribe button. Thanks for watching, and remain blessed.